I went ahead and sanded it a little bit off of this bevel here to make it a little steeper angle, so that when it hits the bar we have to put across here recessed in, it'll go back and snap around it. In order for it to snap around it, we have to put a little spring behind here. So that's what I'll do next, is take this bolt out and drill a hole into here and put a spring in there that will keep this out like that. And then when it goes down, it'll snap and then come back and hook onto that bar. At least that's what we hope it's going to do, to hold it down. So let's get started on that. Not quite stiff enough. I wonder if we can interlock two together, if that would make it stiffer. If I can get it in that hole, I might have to drill a hole bigger. Don't know if that's stiff enough or not. Let's try 3 of them, if we can get 3 of them in there. Well, drilled the hole too deep. Crud. Well, I ended up going over town and found a longer spring as well as a stiffer one. That's a little bit fatter, so I still got to drill the hole out a little bit bigger. Went ahead and drilled a small shallow hole, same size, in the back end of this, so it'll recess in there, so it'll stay in there. So let's try it again. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be good. Cool. Now we've got to mark this spot across here and route a little slot there to put a piece of bar in, kind of like this transfer punch, piece of 1/4 inch or something, and recess it in there for that catch to catch on. Alright, now I'm going to route the little slot for the round bar to go in there. I'm going to use this little trim router I got from Harbor Freight for 20 bucks. First time I've ever used it. think I'll go ahead and put it back together right here. See how it's going to do. We have to keep it from popping up too far that way. I think I got to route it a little bit deeper. It wants to slip back off. Although if I go too deep, it won't slip around it. Let me go just a hair deeper. I've got to go a little bit more, so more of it will be on there, and then just bevel this a little bit further. So let me take it down about another 1/16 of an inch. I went ahead and made a couple little aluminum straps out of some little scrap I had. I'm going to screw them over top of the little bar here, round stock, to hold it in there before we go any further, just so that that'll be in place. Okay, that's going to hold it good. Well, after I got this piece of round stock in here, I was still having trouble with the hook latching. So what I did was I trimmed a little bit off the back of this piece to give it a little more clearance to swing. Still having trouble, so I decided to make a new one. So the new one I made a little bit deeper here and rounded the back corner and trimmed some off the back, give more clearance in the back. So I think this one's going to work somewhat decent. Push it down like that and it'll spring up and latch it. And hit it like that and it'll stop. And it's got a little bit of movement there, but with the weight, once the weight of the planers on here will be enough to hold it down. So, that feels a little rough right there, so I might file that. That was cut on the bandsaw, so I might file it to make it smoother so it won't feel so rough right there. So I'll do that and then put it back in. Well, filing that little flat smooth made it worse. It wanted to slip off a whole lot more. I guess the roughness was keeping it on there. So what I did was I took it back over to the took it back over to the bandsaw and cut a little bit of an angle there and made it almost like a little gully. I don't know if you can see that or not. And with that little gully there, it'll latch it. So, not quite as down as far, but I don't think it's enough to affect anything, because that's the raised up position and it's up high enough anyway. So I think that might just work. So the thing now to do is take it apart, put a coat of paint on it, and make a top for it. So that'll be the next things we do. Well, there it is. Seems like it's working pretty good. Press down on it, let up on it, and it holds. So the only thing left to do now is to make a top for it, which I'm going to make out of that white melamine, and iron on the edge banding, and then mount the planer to it, and we'll be done.